Perfect day, Papa. Perfect day, Mama. Perfect day, saints of the house. My name is Michaela. I am 19 years young. In 2022, my parents joined this ministry. I remember they attended the first services on Sundays, and then after the first service, they would come watch the second service online. In my head, I was like, why are they watching the second service if they just came from church? But I was in disbelief back then. Back then, I did not know that Christianity is this deep. I did not know realms exist. I did not know the significance of speaking in tongues. So I'm glad God opened my eyes. And then also, this is the first man of God that I ever had encounters with. At the previous churches, I never had encounters with any of the pastors. So this is the first man of God that I had encounters with. It all started with the Marine service. My father was at the service and my mother was at work, and he sent me a message telling me I must watch online, and I turned on the TV and watched. And towards the end, I think it was, where Papa placed his hand on the screen, or where he said the online viewers must place their hands on the screen. And when I placed my hand on the screen, I just felt a shock through my body. And ever since then, when my parents came home also that day, I told them next weekend Sunday I'm going with. I don't care who is gonna be in the car, but I'm going with. I don't care who wants to go, but I am going with. Ever since then, my eyes opened completely, because I never felt that, like connecting online and getting a shock through my body. That was just another experience. The first encounter I had was when Papa was sitting on a cloud, and I was looking up to this cloud that he was sitting on, and he said, "Ascend." And after that encounter, I knew that this was a true man of God, because I desired what the other people were feeling. I wanted the same experience. So I knew after that no, this is a true man of God, and this is where I want to be. The hungerness has increased ever since then. My prayer life has changed. At first, I couldn't even pray for an hour, but now I can. So I'm glad and thankful that God opened my eyes. The second encounter I had, the theme was My Story Must Change by Fire by Force Part 2. During that same week, I started fasting. And I think before I started my fast, I had an encounter with Papa. I was sitting in church, and then Papa came towards me, to our row. He came to our row, and then he touched me on my forehead. He placed his hand on my forehead. I remember the Sunday, Papa asked us to write down 7 things on our prayer points, and the first 6 things that I wrote were all spiritual, and then the last one was for my bursary funds to be released. And then the Sunday, the Holy Spirit located us through Papa, and he came towards me, and I remember I just started shaking. I couldn't control myself. I just started shaking. And 3 weeks after that, my bursary was released. So I'm just glad, because I was stressing. Because if my bursary wasn't released, I wasn't gonna get my results. So I'm just glad that the Holy Spirit used Papa to locate us, and I received my bursary. Then Sunday, with the mental transfer part 2, in the early hours of the morning, I had this dream where I had this pimple on my face, and in this dream I popped the pimple, and black and brown stuff started coming out of the pimple. It wasn't a normal pimple, because the dirt that was coming out of the pimple was literally pouring out of the pimple. So then Sunday after the service, I went home and I thought, about this dream that I had, and I was thinking, what could this dream mean? And then it came to me that it could be the purification and the cleansing that took place before Papa imparted the gifts.
The nice spirits of God rest upon you.
I remember as Papa came towards us, as he was standing in the row, I felt this burning sensation throughout my body. It felt like my body was on fire, but on the inside. And I remember he came closer and closer to us, and I just started shaking, vibrating. I couldn't sit still, I couldn't control myself. And I remember he walked behind us, and that's when I just couldn't contain myself. I couldn't control myself. And then when I got to the front, the electricity and the power was just too much. I couldn't even lift up my head. And then when Papa placed his hand behind my head, it just felt like a heavy force came upon me. Something heavy came upon me. And then he said, the 9 spirits rest upon you. I did not expect that. I was expectant on Sunday, but I did not expect that to happen. It was a really powerful experience, a powerful service. And then I just want to say thank you to Papa for everything that he's doing for us. Thank you for the sacrifices, for the teachings, for the deep revelation, for your time. And then I pray that God will continue to use the Anosike family mightily. He will continue to bless them. Thank you so much.